Imagine if your body was a library, keeping records of every event from conception to the present day. How would that influence your life? Today, we are delving into an intriguing concept that our bodies remember every event from conception to this very moment. Just like a library that houses books filled with stories, our bodies are repositories of our life's experiences. Every triumph, every setback, every joy, and every sorrow is etched into the fabric of our being. It's not just a metaphorical concept. Our bodies literally encode these experiences in our cells, our tissues, and most significantly, in our brains. The science of neurobiology tells us that our brains are constantly forming new connections, reshaping old ones, and even breaking connections that are no longer needed. This dynamic process is influenced by our experiences, our thoughts, and our emotions. In essence, our bodies are not just passive bystanders in our lives, but active participants, responding to and even shaping our experiences. Every heartbeat, every breath, every twitch of a muscle is a response to something happening within us or around us. But what does this mean for us in the present moment? Well, it means that our bodies can sometimes serve as a kind of time machine, transporting us back to past experiences. When we encounter a situation that reminds us of a past event, our bodies can react as if we are reliving that event. This can trigger emotions, thoughts, and even physical sensations that are similar to what we experienced back then. For instance, the smell of freshly baked bread might transport you back to your grandmother's kitchen, filling you with a sense of warmth and comfort. On the other hand, the sound of a car backfiring could trigger a fight-or-flight response if you've ever been in a dangerous situation involving gunfire. These reactions are not always conscious or voluntary. They are the result of our body's remarkable ability to remember and respond to our past experiences. Our bodies, a living library of our past experiences, have a profound influence on our present and future. So the next time you experience a strong emotional or physical reaction, take a moment to consider what chapter from your body's library might be influencing you. Negative memories, like a bad book on the shelf, can have a significant impact on our present and future. Just as our bodies serve as a library of past experiences and moments, our minds often harbor memories that can unexpectedly influence our present. It's no surprise that our bodies remember every event from conception to the present day, as this often leads us to dwell on the past and fall into the same patterns. Regrettably, these negative memories can be quite potent, drawing us into a cycle of repeated errors and disappointments. We may even find that we associate any current disappointment or negative emotion with something from our past. So it's important to remember that while our bodies live in the past, we must continue to strive for a better future. Our body remembers everything. This can be a source of disappointment and negative emotions. It's as if our mind is constantly trying to relive the past, taking us back to times when we made mistakes or felt downtrodden. This hinders forward progression and breaks free from the same routine of mistakes. But by understanding how our bodies remember these past events, we can start to build better relationships with our memories. Relationships that don't drag us into a cycle of negative emotions, but instead help us move forward with confidence. Our brain is like a compass, always pointing us in the right direction if we know where we want to go. But if our brain isn't given a destination, it may default to the desires of our body or negative memories. This means that our subconscious processes and choices can take over and derail us from our path. If we want to be successful and reach our goals, we must be aware of this capability of our brain to make decisions without conscious thought. We need to know what we want and where we should be headed. Otherwise, a negative memory or bodily impulse can take control of our life. The echoes of our past can create a cycle of negativity that impacts our present and future. Understanding how our bodies remember past events can help us break the cycle of negativity. This statement is more than just a theory. It's an empowering tool to help us navigate our way through life. Each of us carries a library within ourselves, a compendium of experiences and emotions that have shaped our lives. And while some of these memories can be negative, they don't have to define our present or our future. Our bodies, in their wisdom, store these memories as a means of protection, of learning from past events to guide future actions. But sometimes, this protective mechanism can feel more like a chain, pulling us back into the same patterns of mistakes and disappointments. It's like being stuck in a revolving door, with the same scenarios playing out over and over again. But here's where the power of understanding comes into play. By acknowledging and understanding how our bodies remember past events, we can begin to form a healthier relationship with these memories. Instead of being dragged down by the weight of past disappointments, we can use them as stepping stones to move forward. We can learn to separate the memory from the emotion, to see the event for what it was, a moment in time, not a life sentence. This understanding allows us to break the cycle of negativity. It gives us the ability to consciously choose how we react to situations and how we let them affect us. We can choose to see the silver lining in every situation, to learn from our mistakes, and to use them as fuel for personal growth. And the most beautiful part, this process of understanding and breaking the cycle of negativity isn't a one-time thing. It's a journey, a continuous process of learning and growing. As we continue to understand how our bodies remember, we can continue to shape our reactions and our futures. This journey isn't always easy, and it may require us to face some uncomfortable truths. But in doing so, we gain the power to shape our own destiny, to steer our lives in the direction we want it to go. With understanding comes the power to break the cycle of negativity and move towards a brighter future. And that, dear listeners, is a journey worth embarking on. Our brain is like a compass, always pointing us in the right direction if we know where we want to go. Imagine standing at the crossroads of life, unsure of which path to take. Without a clear destination, you might find yourself wandering aimlessly, led by the whims of your body or the shadows of your past. This is because our brain functions as a compass, guiding us based on the course we've set for ourselves. But what happens when we don't set a course? When we don't have a clear destination in mind, our subconscious processes can take the steering wheel. These processes are often influenced by our body's desires and past experiences, particularly the negative ones. You see, our brain has a fascinating, yet sometimes inconvenient, ability to remember and react based on past experiences. It's as if our past mistakes and disappointments have left imprints on our mental map, pulling us towards familiar territory, even if that territory is riddled with pitfalls. Now, this isn't to say that our subconscious is a villain in our story. On the contrary, it's simply doing its job, operating based on the information it has been given. It's a survival mechanism, a way for our brain to make quick decisions without conscious thought. But it's important to remember that this autopilot mode is not always the best option, especially when it's navigating based on outdated or negative information. The key, then, is to provide our brain with a clear destination. We need to consciously decide where we want to go in life and what we want to achieve. By doing this, we give our mental compass a point to align with, a direction to guide us towards. This conscious decision-making process can help us steer clear of the repetitive cycle of past mistakes and disappointments, and instead lead us towards growth and fulfillment. Without a clear destination in mind, our subconscious can lead us astray into the territory of past mistakes and disappointments. Remember, your brain is a compass, and it's up to you to set the direction. To take control of our lives, we must understand the decision-making power of our brains. This is a truth we often overlook, but it's an essential piece of the puzzle when it comes to living our lives with purpose and direction. Our brains are like navigators. They need a destination to guide us correctly. Without it, our bodies can take over, making decisions based on subconscious processes or negative memories. This is why it's so crucial to know what we want and where we want to go. If we don't, we risk falling into the trap of letting our past dictate our present. We are all too familiar with the power of negative memories and how they can hold us back. But what if we could use that same power to propel us forward instead? If we can clearly define our goals and desires, we can steer our brains towards making decisions that align with our aspirations and dreams, rather than being pulled back into the past. Similarly, our bodies are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on the smallest signals and can react to our environments in ways that are beyond our conscious control. This is why it's so important to have a clear direction in life. If we don't, our bodies might take the reins, leading us down paths that are guided by old patterns and negative experiences. However, knowing what we want and where we want to go is only half the battle. We also need to be able to communicate these desires to our brains effectively. This means being mindful of the messages we send ourselves, both consciously and subconsciously. It means being aware of the words we use, the thoughts we entertain, and the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world around us. By doing so, we can ensure that our brains are working for us, not against us. We can make sure that our decisions are helping us move towards the life we want, rather than keeping us stuck in the past. Knowing where we want to go gives us the power to steer clear of the influence of negative memories and bodily impulses. So let's take control of our lives, not just by knowing what we want, but by guiding our brains and bodies towards it with unwavering clarity and purpose. We can use our imagination to create vivid pictures of what could be, allowing our bodies to respond as if this reality already exists. Imagine the possibilities if we could harness the power of our minds to visualize the future. Visualizing the future isn't just a daydream or a wishful thinking exercise. It's an active process that can shape our emotions, thoughts, and ultimately our actions. Consider this. Our bodies hold on to memories, both positive and negative, and these memories often influence our present. But what if, instead of letting our past dictate our present, we let our future do the talking? What if we could use our imagination, our mind's eye, to create emotional pictures of the future that are so vivid, so real, that our bodies begin to respond as if this future is our current reality? This is the power of visualization. It's like painting a picture of the future with the brush of our imagination and the palette of our emotions. By visualizing our goals, our dreams, our ideal future, we can start to feel the emotions associated with these visions. And as we've discussed, our bodies remember and respond to emotions. So by creating these positive, future-focused emotions now, we're effectively guiding our bodies towards this desired future. But visualization isn't just about creating a future. It's also about letting go of the past, particularly the negative memories that hold us back. By focusing on the future we want, we start to overwrite these negative memories with positive ones. We replace the fear of repeating past mistakes with the excitement of achieving future goals. We replace the dread of past failures with the anticipation of future success. In essence, we're reprogramming our bodies to respond to the future, not the past. We're shifting the library of our bodies towards positive, future-focused memories, breaking free from the hold of negative past memories. So let's use our imagination to create vivid pictures of what could be. Let's feel the emotions associated with these visions. Let's guide our bodies towards this desired future. Through visualization, we can create a positive future and guide our bodies towards it, breaking free from the hold of negative past memories. In conclusion, our bodies remember every event from conception to the present day, and this can have a profound impact on our present and future. This vast library of experiences, if left untamed, can drag us into a whirlpool of negative emotions, chaining us to past mistakes. But we have the power to break this cycle. By recognizing the strength of our memories and their influence on our present, we can start to create healthier relationships with our past. Understanding this connection allows us to navigate through life with a clear destination in mind, steering us away from the pitfalls of past disappointments. Furthermore, the power of visualization enables us to paint vivid pictures of our desired future, compelling our bodies to react as if it already exists. By understanding our past and visualizing our future, we can guide our bodies towards a brighter tomorrow, free from the cycle of negativity and disappointment.